All right, hey guys, and welcome back to another January manga haul. As you can see, we have quite a lot on our hands to start off the year. Um, the reason why this pile is so big is like a bit twofold. A couple of them are like at the end of December, which some of these were bought in December. There was a bunch of stores running really huge like bookstores running really huge sales. So a few of those are from those, and I'll talk about those sales and price and stuff when we get to them. And then a lot of used manga this month, like so much, for just really good deals. So stuff that I've been waiting on, or you wait on to find for a good price, all kind of happened. A lot of it at the same time, and so there's about a little over 90 books here, but then over 100 volumes of like original manga with all the omnibus included. So we'll be here a while. I'm pretty chill today. I'm kind of cozy. We'll do a little bit of a cozy walkthrough of what I got, and that'll be that. Hope you enjoy. All right, this is going to be a long one. Let's just start it out. So here we go. My first two used volumes will be up right off the bat. I picked these up for a really good price. When I walked into the store, they had both of them, and I think this is the first time I've ever seen these this series used. So I think I got these for like $10 each, which is a pretty damn good deal. That is a little over half off. So not a bad start at all. Now I'm pretty sure I actually got these near the end of the month. I didn't get these very long ago. Now I was going to be jumping around a lot because I didn't really space these by how and when I bought them. This one was on a Books A Million trip. I love this series. The girl I like forgot her glasses. I thought it was really cute. Nothing overly crazy going on here. It's a fairly generic, I guess you'd say, romantic comedy kind of story, but I just love the angle it brought. I love the main female lead. The male lead's pretty bland, I think you could say pretty safely. But I loved the gag dynamic in this one, which is that she has horrible eyesight and she's constantly forgetting her glasses. So it led to a lot of funny situations that are unusual, or at least not unusual. New isn't the word I want to use either, but at least new to your generic romance rom-com kind of high school setting manga I read. And I just enjoyed it. I was like, it led to a lot of new opportunities for different kind of jokes, different kind of gags, and different kind of interactions. So I like this one a lot, and that's one from this is a Square Enix one. So I thought that was interesting because I don't have a lot of Square Enix, I guess what you'd call smaller or normal sized manga. Normally I'm used to the Square Enix ones I've been used to have been more of like your larger size, like this series is. And so I thought that was interesting. That they're releasing series now as well that are of this shape. So I was like, okay, this is similar to what I'd say like a vertical, or close to a 7Cs, but closer to like a vertical style of print. All right, we'll continue on next here with 3 volumes of Blood on the Tracks. Now, Blood on the Tracks was one. It's this very surreal kind of psychological, almost horror type series. If you've read anything by this author, then I mean you know you know some of the stuff that can come out of these books. But when Blood on the Tracks was first coming out, I was like hooked. I was transfixed, and I was like volume to volume, got it instantly. As you can see here, I've obviously gotten behind, and I don't know, it's lost me a little bit. Not even lost me, like the story is just as good, but I've almost gotten, I don't know, just interested enough in other things that Blood on the Tracks really wasn't that high on the priority list. So I'm trying to catch back up. I've got these volumes in particular will just fly by when I go to read them. Like, it'll be insane because there's so little dialogue in Blood on the Tracks. So much of the story is told through facial expressions and long, creepy art pieces. It's pretty wild. We'll do this stack here because this stack has some pretty weird stuff in it. So how to raise, I almost said how to train, how to train a dragon. How to raise a boring girlfriend, volume 8. Now this volume can be kind of hard to find. It's been one of those volumes that I've been just trying to keep an eye out on it for months, essentially. It's one of those ones where 7 Yen Press might, reprint it. I'm starting to have serious doubts on a lot of the Yen Press out of print. Like old but not old books I was buying and now I can't, like Sakurai, for instance. Like there's almost the entire series is out of print except for the first 4 volumes. And I'm just like, so, and that came out in like 2018 and 19, 17, 18, 19, that range. And it's starting to get weird because that's starting to get into territory of being like 3 or 4 years ago, which is almost panic inducing because that just doesn't seem possible. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. This is at least one of those ones where I was finally able to track down this volume on one of the very rare occasions I've ever overpaid for manga, but this one was rather reasonable. I think it was like 20 or 25 bucks. I found it from an Amazon seller. So I just pulled the trigger and did it. I was like, it completed the series. It was the last one I needed. About double the price. It really didn't bother me. I would never normally do that, but I was kind of like, you know what? We're gonna give that a go this time. Here's a volume that I'm not trying to collect this series as much as I used to back in the day, but for some reason when I first started buying manga, I was obsessed with finding this volume. Like it was one of the first times I ever heard of a volume being like hard to find. So I don't know why I was fascinated with that, but I was. And so I always looked for volume 4 or Strawberry 100%. It's one of the harder volumes to find, if I remember right. I don't know what is going on with this series anymore as far as what volumes are or aren't. I'm sure they've all become harder to find, would be my assumption. But anyway, I found this at a random bookstore for like $4. And I was like, hey, I'm going to buy it because that just kind of fulfills a series that I've been trying to buy for a long time. Here's a random volume I got from Right Stuff that I ordered like a year and a half ago. I'm kind of in a love-hate relationship with Right Stuff at the moment because I had like orders on there and then my card was declining because the orders were like almost 2 years old, one of them. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go in and put my new card in. And I thought that was fine. Well, come to find out, I didn't see the emails. They canceled like 3 of my orders. One of them was orders I had put in instantly for like the hardcovers of, oh, fuck. Oh, what are they called? Whatever. Anyway, this whole set of hardcovers canceled. So I was upset. So that's one of the random ones that had already been partially shipped, so I think I'd already paid for that one. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I was annoyed. Still am, kind of. Here's a, I got this at a used bookstore for $3, which I thought was silly. I was like, hello, come again? This volume is like $15 and you're, okay. And so I bought it mostly for that. And because, I mean, hey, there's also really gorgeously drawn female characters that are hardly dressed on the cover. So, I mean, that also kind of made it an easier decision for me. All right. Was this in a manga haul already? I'm kind of confused. I don't think so. Anyway, we're going to keep going because I know if it was, it's one of the only ones. So Chained Soldier. I think I just talked about it on Twitter. That's why I was thinking about it. I actually really enjoyed this series. And sure, is it smut to a large degree? Yeah. But it's smut. I think I've read so much. I don't think awful even does it justice. Like the way I feel. Like after just, sometimes you're like, I'm a guy who lives alone and has been single, I don't know, for over 10 years. Sometimes I just want to read some stories with some boobs in it and just make myself feel better. I was like, yeah, you know what? I like those. I like this. I like that. I like those. And we're going to keep going. But my lord, I'm like, can we have an ecchi series that, I don't know, isn't aneurysm just inducing? Something like Destiny Lovers and Lusky ass. This stuff is awful. This story, the art's amazing. The girls are beautifully drawn. They aren't the most annoying creatures on God's green earth. They actually have some personality to them. And the story was somewhat fun, like actual cohesive, coherent. Is it the best story in the world? No. But the guy's design when he transforms and it is used as like a weapon is actually very well done. I think his designs so far have been awesome, and the girl's weapons and powers have also been really cool. So hey, well done. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it. Why is this volume yellowed so much? Where have I put these? Where have I put these? Interspecies Reviewers, Volume 7. As you can obviously see, I have not gotten to this one yet. I picked this one up. Books A Million. This whole little stack here of A Comic Kill was all used. I want to say these were about... oh, that's so funny. I can see this person bought it at Books A Million. Unfortunate for you. I think these were about $5 a piece. A Comic Kill is one of those ones where I'm very interested in completing it because I have a lot of the volumes, but it's been so long now that this is kind of my pattern with a lot of these. It's like eventually this will probably show up somewhere used to some degree. So it's pretty much what I did. I waited a long time, but I found quite a bit of a nice chunk of it. I don't know where this series is at anymore on what's in print, what's out of print. It's kind of what's become really hard about the way I like to buy manga is all of a sudden, like, manga is just going out of print, and then sometimes it's not getting reprinted, so it's becoming really hard. I'm like, okay, do I just go back and try to buy old series that I'm not really reading at the moment, or buy stuff I'm more interested in right now? It's really annoying. I hate how it's become like this. So it's I think I'm more of a unique thing to the way I buy manga, or have bought manga for so long that I'm kind of having to try to change that a little bit. So here's a couple new Books A Million pickups that I was very happy with. So what's the full name? I was reincarnated as the seventh prince, so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. So that's a mouthful. I bought this because the art looked really nice, even though I'm pretty sure I even said in a tweet not that long ago that I am never ever in my life buying a manga with the words, reincarnated or, isekai. I was just like, never again. And here I'm like 2 weeks later, here I was. But this one was actually really quite nice. The weird thing about isekai is sometimes I just wish, why'd you need the isekai thing? Like, this story I think would be great without it. Like, it starts, like, the isekai trope, usually all it does is make me, it adds in annoyances for me. Like in this one, like some peasant guy is getting like killed by a noble at the beginning with some big spell because apparently nobles have more magic, have better magic than the commoners. And so he dies and gets reincarnated as a noble, as a prince, and is like the most powerful person, magical caster ever. I'm like, well, what kind of shit message is that? Oh, so you were a low life shitlord commoner with no magic, but just die and get reincarnated as a prince, as a noble, and now you're powerful. So everything that they told you was true. Which in normally like a hero story would be the peasant doesn't have magic. Well, you can't be a great mage because you're a noble. And then he overcomes that and becomes powerful. But so this kind of flips it on its head and it just makes it weird. I'm like, why couldn't we just start with the reincarnated kid and he's oddly powerful? That would have been interesting. But there's some really schmexy art in this one as well. One thing I will say is, I'd say rather interesting, is the design of the male lead. Now, he's 10. So he's drawn very feminine, which is different sometimes. I have no issue with that. I think it's actually kind of an interesting design choice. The female characters are drawn really beautifully, by the way. They have great designs as well. But, like, sometimes it draws them and I'm like, you do know he's 10, right? Like 10. So sometimes that's a bit, but I mean, hey, that's anime and manga. I mean, hey, that's par for the course. I think we've all been there, done that. So, but anyway, I really liked it. I really liked this series a lot. I'm still reading volume 2, so I have not finished that one yet. But this was a good Books A Million pickup. This was a pickup I was happy with. So yeah, here's another $3 one I got at just used bookstore. I was like, okay, sure. This book isn't that old, so I don't really get it. But hey, whatever.
It's not me. So we'll do this one first. Beastars Volume 22. I haven't read this yet, mostly because I'm a little worried. I really have enjoyed Beastars a lot, but except for the last few volumes. Now, the last few volumes have been kind of just, I'm like, where's this going? Because I knew, like, I think if I was reading this in real time and I didn't know that the ending was coming, I wouldn't be so worried. But knowing that this is the last volume, gotta be honest, doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm like, well, how do you wrap up the story in one volume? It seems like there is so much more that needs to happen. So I don't know. I love Beastars. It's been really fun to read and get through. But I'm a little concerned because I really don't know how that's gonna go. All right, this whole pile here was bought at the end of December because Barnes and Noble, which is a bookstore I never really go to because it's not very close to me, and there's only one I can go to in my state. Yeah, I think there's only one in my entire state. But they were having, like, a couple days after Christmas, 50% off all hardcovers. Full stop. Not you need a membership or buy one get one 50% off. No, 50% off all hardcovers. I was like, yo, hello? Unfortunately, I didn't make it there on the first day of the sale. And like I said, there's only one in my entire state. So there wasn't a lot of options I had. But hey, it was still fine. I got a bunch of ones that I wanted anyway, but there was more there I was really hoping for. I was desperately hoping they'd have a lot of the Full Alchemist hardcovers. And they had like 4 or 5 of the volumes, and maybe I should have just bought those, but I'm still holding out hope that maybe they put those in a box set someday. So I don't know. If I couldn't like buy most of them at once, I wasn't gonna bother. But I did finally. This is a series that I've wanted to get in hardcover, but would have needed a good deal to do so, and that is the Chobits hardcovers. So obviously a classic, and I don't know, the third different type of Chobits like volumes or release I've bought, which is a little silly. So these are $25, so I probably got them for, what is that, like 12 something a piece. Pretty crazy. I've gotta stop saying that. I don't know why it is such a tick for me whenever I record videos. It's not a tick for me outside of videos, but it is a horrible tick when I'm actually recording videos. The word obviously. I try to catch it, but sometimes it just comes. Oh, that's a really pretty color page. Cute. I was also missing, I think, volume 5 of the hardcovers of Cardcaptor Sakura, and I was really hoping they'd have that, but they didn't when I went down there. I also, in hindsight, they had more of the volumes I was missing of Vinland Saga, but Vinland Saga isn't a series I love, but it is a series I like to buy and read, especially just to support hardcovers, because I know that Vinland Saga has had a rocky road here and there during its release of, okay, can we even keep releasing these? And they had more of them, but I didn't buy more of them, and I kind of hate that I did. Soul Eater. The perfect editions. The spines will never be as good as on the normal manga. I'm really hoping maybe they do something with the spines when they get to the later ones. Like if they transitioned, like if they swapped the yellow and the black, like they faded the Soul Eater part here, to slowly faded the black to yellow and the yellow to black. I think that would be awesome and a way to pay homage to the original releases. But these were the 2 volumes I was missing of Soul Eater, the perfect editions, and now I have all of them. And then here we go with the Girl from the Other Side. This is one of the prettiest, just most gorgeous hardcover releases that's coming out right now. So this is volume 2. They're beautiful. Like, they're actually beautiful. If these were on a shelf, I don't think you'd know they were manga, and I think you'd be shocked. Like, if you gave them to somebody and they're like, what the fuck? That's insane. All right, so let's go with these ones next. This is another pile of used manga. So someone was turning in some Mushoku Tensei, which is, funnily enough, it was almost kind of funny that these popped up so soon after my Right Step order was canceled, because I had a shit ton of these in that order, like so many of them. And this was an op, because what do I have already? Bear with me while I here look. Oh, well, hold on. I better actually. I better here look at this gorgeous face. So I searched for the M, looking for my M section. It's over there. Yeah. So I have volumes 1 and 2. So I have volumes 1 and 2 over there. This is volume 4. Here's volume 3. Finger guns. Volume 3, 5. Okay, so I knew I had some mixed volumes here. I was pretty sure. So now I have 1 through 5 and 6. So 1 through 6. Here's this one, which is quite nice. These ones were probably like that $5 or $6 a piece as well. So about half off. And then volume 9. So I'd go from 6 to 9. So I need to keep track of the fact that I need volume 7 and 8. So I will do that promptly after I'm done recording this video. And those were a bunch of 7Cs books. Now we'll do some more assorted 7Cs here. Here's a used volume I found of Gun... What is it? Gun Buried. I thought it said Gun Bread. And I was like, oh my. Oh my. So volume 1 of Gun Bread Sisters. Haven't got a chance to read that yet. I haven't got a chance to read a lot of this yet, y'all. Like, there's too much. So I'm sorry I can't give a too much crazy commentary on some of these, but that's why I'm giving commentary on some of the ones that I have read, so I can give you a bit of insight. Who Says Warriors Can't Be Babes? I got this one at Books A Million on their bargain shelf. So this one was dropped from $3.97 to $2.97, and then I bought 3 of them, and they had a buy 2 get 1 free. So I bought these 3 books, which I'll show the next two of them to you now. I got 2 of them for $2.97 and 1 of them for free. So this is essentially, you could say, the other one I got for $2.97. One of the volumes I was missing of Monster Mizumi. I'm a little, I've got 1 through 12 of Monster Mizumi, and I've kind of fallen off the series, so I'm kind of just picking and choosing there. That one's a bit too stupid of a price not to grab. And then this one was the other one, so then I got this one for free. Because I think I have volumes 1 through 6 of There's a Demon Lord on the Floor. So again, I got it for free. So I don't always like to buy volumes out of order, but for this one I was like, yeah, we're gonna do that. I just had to check my recording to make sure we're still going, because I just had a terrifying thing of like, oh my god. I went and got water at one point, and I couldn't remember if I turned it back on, and it's been like 20 minutes since then. I was terrified. Got this one in the used bookstore, volume 1. This one also was $2.97. So some stupid 7Cs gets that treatment more than basically any other publisher, and I'm not sure what causes it. It is very fascinating to me why 7Cs, and it makes me a bit skeptical. Here's Plus Size Elf, another used volume I got, by the way. This one was like $5, but it just makes me wonder. I'm like, does 7Cs like sell theirs for like, because what are they at now? They've gone up. So they're $14 a piece now. And I'm like, do you just say they're $14 a piece now, but the retailers are buying them for the same price, which is what, or like cheaper than the other companies, even though your price is going up? I don't know. It makes me skeptical, because I don't know why 7Cs are always the books that get put on for the cheapest. As far as when you find them discounted at places, it makes me wonder. Here's part of a bigger order I picked up when I was shopping at Books A Million for new stuff. A Galaxy Next Door. This series is really cute. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm on to volume 3 at the moment. It's very fast paced and not at the same time, but it's got a very interesting plot with a manga artist, and then he meets this girl who's like an alien princess kind of dealio, and she accidentally like pricks him with her tail. That means they're connected, and he can't like make her upset or angry, and he kind of is supposed to like do what she says. But she's really cute. She's really adorable. I love their personalities. Our male lead is trying to become a manga artist, and He's also trying to take care of his little brother and sister because his parents have passed away. So just a really wholesome, really cute love story that I'm really enjoying. And it's a mature love story. It's not like a love story you get in a lot of manga that's really immature, really weird, and not realistic. This one is very much like two older, like ish in their 20s, you would assume adults, learning to like be in a relationship and also having that supernatural element, which is just, it's such a nice change of pace. It's so nice, especially now that I am getting older. I really appreciate manga like this more and more, just all the time. Beauty and the Feast. Still don't care. I like the romance aspect of it. You can suck on my toes if that makes you angry. I don't care about the age difference. I still think it's an interesting love story. If that's, I mean, I can only imagine that's what the point is supposed to be. It just seems implied, but some people don't like it. If you don't like, an age different story that may be a little taboo, then hey, it's not for you. That's fine, but just don't get angry at other people for reading it, please, and thank you. To Rent a Girlfriend. Everyone's least favorite piece of garbage. But I'm still buying it, so I'm still buying it. Although, to be frank, I am way behind. I've got 4 volumes to read to catch up on. It's getting a little out of hand. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. So, absolutely obsessed with Shikimori when it was first coming out. Those first, 7 or 8 volumes were magical. And this volume saves it a little bit for me, because I think what was really starting to lose me in the later volumes is I didn't give a flying shit about the new shy boy character they added. I didn't really like him. And I feel bad saying that, because that was kind of the point of him being added, was that I don't think many people liked him. And I don't even know if I didn't like him. I didn't care about him. And like the last 2 or 3 volumes have been about like really heavily focused on him and integrating him into the group. And I really just don't know if that was working for me, to be fair. So I don't know. This one was better because there was less of him in it for the first time in a while. But I'm not as crazy obsessed and high on this series as I was, even though I still immensely enjoy reading it. Alrighty. Here was a really good use find. Like a really good one in my opinion. As you can see here, just to do a quick little preview, if you can quite see them all. It's a whole bunch of Goblin Slayer. So I got all of this Goblin Slayer used for, I think it was either $5 or $6 a piece. So great deal, really fun. This is just the kind of thing that always makes you really happy, like, yay. So I had an assortment of Goblin Slayer, and this filled in a lot of the cracks. So I'll just speed through these because I don't think we really need to dwell too much on Goblin Slayer. I'm not going to be opening Goblin Slayer to show you anything inside, because if you know, you know. So there's volume 6, volume 8. I don't know if I have 7. I think that might have been the one issue. I think that's like one of the only volumes I'm missing now. Which always makes me wonder, okay, whoever brought in all this manga, where's volume 7? I'm like, hello? Did someone else just buy just volume 7? Or did they not bring in volumes? I have so many questions. So many questions. Volume 9, volume 10, 11. All right, I think that does it for the main Goblin Slayer series. And now we move on to one of the side series, which is Goblin Slayer Side Story. Volume 1. I actually don't know what the side story is about. I'm very unfamiliar with the side stories, to be, I'm not going to say it. I'm not very familiar with the side stories yet. Volume 3. I think I got all of these in an order. Volume 4. I don't know if there's any missing ones in between. Volume 5. Oh my god, this one's fucking chunky. That one's huge. Good lord, it's, oh my god. That's why I didn't open up to any of it. Volume 6. And volume, wow, that one's huge too. Volume 7. Those cost anymore? They don't. Jeez, them. Yen Press lost a little bit on that one. All right, so that was another big used section, and now everything left is used, by the way. So that's why there's so much manga this month, because just a crazy bunch of just used deals. I'm pretty sure everything here was essentially $6 a piece. I believe that's the case. So let's go ahead and do That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. So again, this is a series I've watched quite a bit of the anime of, but I haven't really had time to get to the manga because I find that if I know the story, goodbye, I tend to read other manga, which is a bit unfortunate because I do really want to get into this, but this is it was a you can't pass this up kind of dealio. So hopefully I'll get onto these soon. But when you buy this much manga at once, the problem is what happens to me anyway is, at least from my personal experience, I'm still buying new manga that comes out that are new series. And so I'll get stuck into something, and then, you get something on a table and you get your whole pile of manga I'm reading now, and you want to read the new stuff. Okay, this is just one volume. This is, there's 2 volumes out. I've read volume 1. Here's volume 2. So you read it because you read it and then you're caught up. Well, when I do something like this, I'm like, okay, I've got all these volumes of manga. And I don't really want to just read one of them and then move on to something else, because then it becomes hard to remember different stories and what's going on and character names. And so what happens to me is I'll put a series like this on my shelf. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just put this on the shelf now because, I have the first 4 volumes over there already, so I'll just put these with it, and I'll just take them off the shelf at some point. But then when you're still buying new manga and you're still buying those 1 volumes that are new that you're caught up on, and then you read, all of a sudden you just aren't going back to your shelf in a very timely fashion to get to these. So at some point I will get to these, but for now they will have to wait because I have a lot, and I mean a lot, of reading to do. So that's what was that? Was there any missing ones in there? I don't think so. I think that's straight through 5 through 14. So that was a really nice find. Here's an interesting one for me. Tokyo Ghoul. So I know for a fact. Wait a minute. Oh, that's volume 6. I'm done. Leave me alone. Don't mind me. I've bought volumes 1 and 2 of this before. Absolutely, positively, I had it on my shelf somewhere. Hey, buddy. And I can't find it. I'm very certain, I'm convinced, and this is why I almost never lend my manga to anybody, because it never goes well. And sure enough, even though I've only essentially borrowed to 2 people, and I know it's not one of them, so I know who I must have lent these manga to. And I don't really talk to this person anymore. I haven't talked to them in, I think, 3 years. And I believe I did even ask them once. I was a year or 2 ago. I was like, hey, do you have any manga of mine anywhere? Because I'm pretty sure I lent them to you, but I'm not sure. And they said no. So I know for a fact I lent somebody Assassination Classroom. I'm still missing the first 2 volumes of that, and I'm still missing the first 2 volumes of Tokyo Ghoul. And so finally, when I saw it used, I was like, I'm just going to finally bite the bullet and just rebuy these 2 volumes, because I was like, you know what, I want them back, and I don't think I'm getting them back. So these 2 volumes are finally back home. And now the nice thing about that was the person brought in essentially all of Tokyo Ghoul. Almost all of it. Now there's a couple volumes missing, which is kind of weird, but we'll go through it. So all of them were used, and I'm pretty sure Tokyo Ghoul goes up through volume 14, and they didn't have it. So I have on my shelf volume 2, 4, 5, and 7. So I was able to buy 1, 2, and 6, so that can reach me up through 7, and then obviously there are all of these. So we'll just fly through these. I never know what to do in this part of the video like this, where I'm just like, should I just run through these quickly? Should I, show them slowly? Would it be weird just to show them without talking and just have this big stretch of silence? Let me make sure I'm still in frame for all of these. Yeah, I am. I can't lean too close to my recording device because it messes with my audio and makes me really loud and unpleasant to listen to. So up through volume 13. So I'm pretty sure there is a volume 14. I think that's the last volume of Tokyo Ghoul, the original series. So I didn't quite get it all. And I didn't quite get all of Tokyo Ghoul Re either, which was unfortunate. But still, amazing deal. I don't know if I'm assuming, potentially, because I've already seen some more Tokyo Ghoul pop up at this bookstore, at this used bookstore. So I'm wondering if it's just to do with the box sets coming out. And so I'm really not sure. But it seems very odd. Like I've seen several portions or partial sets of Tokyo Ghoul pop up at used bookstores all of a sudden. And I'm just like, what's happening? So I'm assuming it's just people who wanted the box set. Box sets don't really fuss me that much. There's nothing. I almost sometimes prefer not box sets, but it's a weird case by case basis. But it's like you can't really have it on the shelf if it's in a box set. But box sets are nice. You can't. I definitely can't deny that. And it's usually a little more cost effective. But like I said, so with buying these at $2 a piece, essentially, I think I did the math and I looked it up just because I had an interaction with someone on Twitter that was like, "Why didn't you buy the box set?" And so I was like, "I'm curious if that would have just been smarter," because I looked and like, well, the box set is actually a very good price. And so I think if you bought the box set for Tokyo Ghoul Re, at least, I don't know about Tokyo Ghoul, but for Tokyo Ghoul Re, it was like 802 a volume. Like if you divided it by, the price and then divided by how many volumes are inside. And so I got these for $6 a volume. So essentially, is it a crazy savings? No, but sure adding, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. Already 28 bucks of saving. It adds up. It doesn't seem like much, but it adds up pretty damn quick. And so that's volume 15. So I'm still missing the last volume of Tokyo Ghoul Re and volume 9 by the look of it. I thought there was another volume in there that they oddly enough did not have. So I need 2 more volumes of Tokyo Ghoul Re, 1 more volume of Tokyo Ghoul, and those ones will be finite. So I think that was a really long one. But thank you guys so much for sticking around if you're still here. This was a fun one. My throat is wrecked. I never know how to do these, like fast, slow, but I know I like to put on a lot of videos in the background while I'm doing stuff. And I'm kind of just hoping that this is the kind of video for that person who can just have someone talking, showing some manga while you're not really needing to pay attention, but while you can be, here and there if you want. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you back on the prowl next time.